Hey everyone, in this episode we have a couple of cool garage sale haul segments as well as a top sales recap from the month of April, so stick around. Hello everyone and welcome back into the channel. My name is Andrew and along with my wife Jessica, we run a full-time online reselling business named 5 Little Ducks Resale. During the course of our business, we go to garage sales, thrift stores, and estate sales, and we pick up items for cheap, and then we flip those items online for a profit on sites like Poshmark, Mercari, and eBay. So April is a really busy month for our family. We have a couple of different kids' birthdays, we have my mom's birthday, and so that doesn't really leave me a whole lot of time to do a lot of video recording. Now, I had every intention to do a number of sales recaps and some garage sale hauls, but I guess in this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you some recent pickups from over the last couple of weekends, and then we'll do a full sales recap showing the best sales from our eBay store from the month of April. So without further ado, let's jump into those garage sale hauls. Hey guys, just wanted to show you a quick video of some things that we picked up this weekend to resell. So we'll start over here, which I think is probably the best pickup. This was that vintage Fisher-Price Play Family Castle. Picked this up for $5 at a garage sale. It is in really good shape, considering the age, of course. The moat sticker is kind of ripped out of there, but all of the rest of the wall decals are in really good shape. Pretty clean. There are a few marks on it. All of the doors still work. And there was a whole ton of accessories. I think this was kind of the most sought after item here. I saw a listing for this item by itself, although mine, or the one that I saw actually was all pink, went for $45 by itself. But I don't know why, it's just age or something, but this has kind of a reddish body and pink legs and a tail. But regardless, there's a bunch of other figures. It's not complete by any means. There's only 4 of the figures and a few of the furniture pieces. But a cool find nonetheless for $5. I currently have this listed. It was the first thing that I did when I came home after finding it today, and listed it. I have it listed for $149.99. So we'll see how that does. In addition to that, there were actually some other little people that were included that weren't a part of that set. So I broke them out and listed them separately. So I think this came from that circus, I think it was a circus train. So there's a clown and a ringmaster. There is a grandmother and I think like a granddaughter, probably not from the same set, but I'm listing them together. And then finally, this last one here, I'm going to list her separate. The reason why I'm breaking these out is because these are the wooden body and wooden head. And of course, these go to the same set, but this one is a plastic body and plastic head. So it's probably a little bit newer. So that's why I'm going to list that. So in addition to that great find there, I also found some more Thomas things. They were wanting $20 for all of them, and I got them down to $12. And the reason why is because I noticed that a lot of these were the motorized ones. And of course, there's no way for me to test them at the garage sale. And so I said, hey, you know, I don't know if these are going to work. And she, of course, assured me that they were, but of course, not all of them were. But we agreed on 12. She was fine with that. And took them home, and I tested out most of them, or if not all of them. And I think approximately half of them work. Now, these are a little bit newer than the ones that I have found in my Lego haul. Those were from the kind of earlier 2000s. They were made by Tommy. I think one of those is, I think it's this one here, Stepney. He was still made by Tommy, which is the earlier model. But then the rest were all made by Hit Toy, which was a later iteration of the Thomas toys. So, like I said, about half of these work. Half of them don't, but in my experience, even if they don't work, they should still sell pretty well. Don't know about comps just yet, but again, paid $12 for all of those. And I know from my last iteration, I sold at least non-working ones for about $12 each. At an estate sale, found this cool vintage Girl Scout sash. It was 50% off, so I paid $4 for it. Don't know how that's going to do, but because I have all the other Girl Scout stuff left to list, I figured that would be an easy addition to throw into that as well. And it's roughly from the same time period, so kind of cool. At another estate sale, I found these 2 pieces of jewelry. This was a 75% off. And so this was marked 20, but I got it for about 5. It is a sterling silver. It looked, what is that, an egg? Or I thought it was a strawberry at first because that pin was a strawberry. But maybe it's an egg or something. I don't know. It's not marked other than 925. So I know that it's definitely silver, but I think it's hollow based on the weight. It's pretty light. And then this cool vintage strawberry brooch pin. It is marked underneath there, and I did see a comp on eBay for anywhere between $12 and $25. So not bad. That was a $7 pickup. She charged me a little bit more because she thought that was $80, I think, even though I think it said 20, but regardless, 7. So not too bad of a score. We went to a ton of garage sales this weekend, but only ended up getting a few things, as you can see. I guess sometimes it's just a numbers game, the more sales that you have to hit in order to find the good stuff. A lot of the sales today were literally nothing but tables of baby clothes. So hope you guys enjoyed these. Look for them on some hopefully upcoming What Sold videos. And thank you for watching. Hello everyone, it is Saturday afternoon, which means we are going to do another haul video. So we just spent Friday morning and Saturday morning doing some garage selling. We came back with a bunch of good stuff today and yesterday. So I'm going to walk you through it. I'm not going to tell you how much we paid though. I want you to see at the very end if you think that what we paid was a good deal or not. And I'll walk you through. Over here we have Friday stuff, and then over here we have most of Saturday stuff. So let me see if I can jump in, and we'll just kind of go through everything here. We have this cool vintage Taz container. It's a big jar canister kind of thing. Still has the seal on it. Probably wouldn't have picked this up except for the fact that we have 2 other ones in the series that are already listed. I think we have Bugs Bunny and we have Tweety as well. So when I saw that, I had to, of course, add it to our collection. You might see some prices in here, so kind of add them up in your mind as you go along. Now, I thought this was a vintage piece, but I don't think that it is. It's just a Care Bear coin, but it's brass or some sort of metal, which I thought was kind of cool, so I had to pick it up. And I didn't actually realize that Starbucks made these You Are Here series in an espresso size. I thought they were just the regular coffee mug size. So when I saw this, of course, I figured I would have to give it a try. And I know it's not PC, but cigarette or tobacco branded items do fairly good. It just depends on what it is that you're selling. If this was a new sealed pack of cards and dice, you can see that I paid $1 for it. So for that price, I figured I'd give it a shot. It wasn't too bad. And, you know, I like to be a little bit dangerous, be a rebel, kind of sell things that I know people probably shouldn't be having anyway. Let me pull this other thing to the side and show you that I picked up this pair of cinch jeans. Cinch jeans typically do well for us. These are the white label ones and a good size. I always try to tell or make sure that the crotch isn't worn away or the ends of the legs aren't too badly damaged. Those are the 2 areas where I try to make sure that they're intact for when I sell it. But I always pick up these when I can find them. And I'm going to set these to the side and show you a really cool find for Friday. This really nice vintage Sherpa-lined Levi's denim jacket. Really cool. It is a size XL, so great size. Now, there are some damage spots or at least some stains. I'm going to try to get them out. There's some in the Sherpa over here. I don't know if that's lipstick or makeup or what. I have no idea. Definitely is dirty, but I'm going to do my best to clean this up. And I think even if all of the stains don't come out, this should do pretty well. Now, let me see if I can decode the tag. Because when I was looking at it, and here it is, here's a black batwing tag. You can see here, if I can pull this out, it is made in USA, of course. And let me see here. I think, and I might have to do some more research, but to see this 0896, I think that means that the cut week is the 8th week of 96, or it could be August of 1996. I don't know which, but I think the 96 possibly could indicate the year of manufacture. So that's what's most important about this, is that it's definitely vintage. It is in good shape. But like I said, I'm going to have to do some cleaning. And my goodness, it is weighty. Wow, that thing is crazy heavy. I didn't realize how heavy that is. I'm going to put that over here. So that was pretty much Friday's haul. And then we turn to today, which, as you can see here, the pile is much bigger. So let me try to walk you through that as well. Picked up another pair of jeans. This was an interesting pair because these are, if you see the FR, they're flame resistant. And I was watching another YouTube video one night where somebody was showcasing different pairs of pants to pick up, and they referenced flame resistant pants. And I've never heard of this brand before, Walls. And I did some quick searching around, and I guess they, don't do any worse than any other pair that I've ever sold. So I figured I would give those a shot. Now, at another sale, I got this Lego Friends set, which I'm going to talk about Legos, or my update on Legos, sometime else in this video. So I got that, and then these two model kits. Now, these are interesting because I didn't realize it at the time, but these are all in German. I guess I just wasn't reading it. I was just kind of looking at the box and whatever. So there's that one and this one here. And from what I can tell, they're not new sealed, but the parts are still sealed inside the bag. So even though this is open, I believe, yeah, the parts are still in there. And from what I saw, I believe everything is here. I'll have to do a little bit more research into these, and I couldn't necessarily find them on eBay. I did a Google image search, which then pointed me to some sort of listing on eBay. I checked for sold listings, and I saw this one here in a similar condition, which sold for $85, or it had ended and it didn't sell. I wasn't quite sure, but if that's the case, that would have been a great find. So got to do some other looking up. And the funny thing was about this sale is that the guy totally wanted to give me all three things for free. I don't know if they were hippies or weird folks or whatever. They had some other questionable things out that they were trying to get rid of, but they were like, yeah, we're just not looking to make a profit. We're just trying to get rid of stuff. I'm like, hey, that's cool. I don't care. I still paid him, like $2 for this stuff. I didn't want to come off as being like a jerk or whatever. Plus, it's harder for me to kind of catalog on this stuff if I'm not actually paying money for it, at least in our accounting program. So I figured I'd do my conscience good, and he was happy with the $2, but not bad. At a completely different sale, and folks are going to cringe when they see this, but I know it's going to be a lot of work, but look at all that. Now, this is a huge bin, and this is extraordinarily heavy, of flatware. Looks to be all vintage silver plate. Briefly looked it up while I was there. Well, I should say that I wasn't looking it up. I was looking at the backs to try to find out if I could see any brands or whatnot, and I came across this one, which seemed to be most prevalent, and I think, let me see if I can, well, I'm not going to be able to focus at that on camera. It is Holmes and Edwards, and it says inlaid and IS. So I didn't know if that was international silver. I did some brief looking around at comps when I got home. Of course, I don't know what pattern I have. I don't know anything about this stuff at this point. There's more than likely more than one pattern. I know these things are different here, these big serving spoons or whatnot. So definitely a monumental task ahead, but the comps for that Holmes and Edwards stuff look great. So I was hesitant to tell you how much I paid here, but I'll go into all that later. So that was one sale by itself. At another sale, I got all of this stuff here, and I'll kind of briefly walk through this. Picked up some vintage R.L. Stine paperbacks. We have done fairly well with these in the past. Got some, let's see here, Babysitter's Club, Sweet Valley Twins. Now, by itself, these books don't do very well. We have other ones in our book pile on our bookshelf that we collect, so that when we get enough of this in the series, then we will sell them as a lot. So the same thing for these Sweet Valley Twins. Now, of course, everyone should be familiar with Choose Your Own Adventure. I recently sold, I think, a lot of 12 for a fairly decent amount. I guess these are averaging about $6 per book on the secondary market, and this is one of the original vintage ones, so that's pretty cool. But some more Sweet Valley High, some Christopher Pike. Again, the R.L. Stine, Christopher Pike, that genre of young adult horror, do fairly well for us. Now, while I was there picking these books up, I did run across another series that I was not familiar with, but it's in that same sort of genre. So that's called Terror Academy. Now, what I want you to do is pause this video, go to eBay, search Terror Academy and the author, Nicholas Pine, sort by sold, and yeah, look at the sold comps on some of these. Now, I don't know why they are so high. I don't know if those were first editions or whatnot. I found 5 of them, and I'm pretty psyched about that. So I'm hoping to lot these up. I might sell them individual. I don't know. I have to do a little bit more research. I have never heard of this before, but I thought, given the same genre of not the Sweet Valley High, the R.L. Stine, the Christopher Pike, that these would do well, but I think that this definitely tops those two combined. So pretty cool. In that same vein of picking up books in the series, we found a bunch of these Wizard of Oz ones. We have sold these in the past, so nothing special there. At the same sale, found this cool vintage SeaWorld rope hat. Super bright, like a coral color. It is fairly dirty though, so that's going to try to get some cleaning done. Always try to look at the vintage figures, toys. Found some vintage McDonald's toys, some Fraggle Rock stuff. Interestingly enough, I was looking at these. This little burger here and the Chicken McNuggets actually transform into robots. So these are cool. These are late 80s. Don't know about this one. And of course, they're not big money. They might sell for $5, $6 a piece. And you can see down here some vinyl figures. Got to get cleaned up. Got a Marge Simpson, some Princess Peach. We have, looks like a Chuck E. Cheese down there, Care Bear, you know, whatnot. Now, vintage VHS tapes. Now, these are not new sealed, but even still, it always pays to go and look up some of this stuff. Now, I almost passed these up entirely. I did find this, and I saw this right away, and I did look it up, and it's not huge money, the Rugrats one. It's got the cool orange tape on there. But it was in really good shape. And so when I passed the other bin of VHS, I decided to pull out my phone and look a few of these titles up. Some of them are probably not as good as others. Like there's a Labyrinth in there. I have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1 and 2. What's this one? Oh, Gremlins, which is cool. Now, what I want to show you is this one here. So again, look at the title, Garbage Pail Kids, the movie. Go ahead and pause what you're doing and go to eBay, search sold, make sure that you're doing used, and yeah, take a look at that. So the listing that I saw, and I think there was a few of them, that this one by itself went for about $65. So again, I don't know if it was condition or whatnot that made it so nice, or if it had the slip cover, but of course it has both here. And I will have to find a VCR. I think I have one listed along with a DVD combo. So I will have to definitely test this to make sure that it works. But yeah, that's a bolo right there. And I didn't know that. I only figured that out because I looked it up right then and there. So end of soapbox speech. I'll continue on, but definitely look up some cool vintage things when you're out and about. So moving on, we got a number of blank audio cassettes. We got a big 10-pack here. I always pick up blank tapes. When I see them, these are taped together, but they're loose, but they're all still sealed. Here's a RCA pack of 5. Again, these are not the prices that I paid. What else? Got some cool Made in USA belt buckles. You know, nothing major. We hit a ton of sales today, though. And it's fun. It's fun to get out there again. More vinyl figures. Again, probably not gold mine type stuff. I saw that was vintage. I decided to pick it up. Chuck E. Cheese. I did sell another Chuck E. Cheese just like this one before. But when you're picking up stuff like this for a quarter and you can sell it for $6-7, hey, why not, you know? A couple of Starbucks mugs. These are actually newer. 2021, I believe. Yeah, but they were cool designs. This was probably not the best buy, but I figured someone might want it. This is a kind of a VMware VMworld logo backpack from 2015. I did see a few others listed online. It's in really good shape. You know, that's the reason why I picked it up, is because it didn't look like it was used a whole lot. But I figured, hey, someone in the tech world might want it, or maybe they just want another backpack, who knows. Got this lot of mini Thomas trains, and I have sold mini Thomas trains before, along with the carrying case, but what struck me is it said superhero trains, and sure enough, they're all kind of decorated like different superheroes. So it looks like the Flash, it looks like the Riddler. I don't know what other ones are here. Didn't look up comps on these, but I figured there's enough of them to sell as a lot, so I thought those were pretty cool. What else did we get? Oh, I got a little free cable for me for one other thing. I ended up buying a new tripod, or it looks to be new in box. So I'm going to justify that as a business expense for when I take pictures with my good camera. But otherwise, that's the haul. A ton of stuff. So, any guesses on how much we paid? So I have it written down right here. So Friday is what that was. We spent $17.16 on Friday, and Saturday $43. So total of $60.16. So not too bad. That's a pretty big haul for $60. And if anything is, if I could get 65 for this, you know, that's pushing pretty much paying for the entire 2 days of sourcing by this thing alone by itself. And that means everything else here would be pure profit. Now, that would be, of course, pie in the sky, but that just goes to show you as well that if you are persistent, you can definitely still find some good stuff for cheap out there. So let me know in the comments below how you think we did. I definitely, this is the point in time where I'm at a kind of a crossroads, right? Like I'm at that high where I'm just looking at everything and everything is awesome and I'm so psyched to get started to listing it. And then the realization hits and I'm like, well, I don't even know where to start, right? Like where do I go? So again, we're going to take it slow. We're going to do baby steps. We're going to, obviously I need to catalog all this stuff. I need to get it checked into our accounting program so that I can keep track of how much we paid for everything. I'll probably start doing some of the easy stuff first, the mugs, maybe even the VHS. I know these blank tapes are super easy to list. You just take 3 photographs and pipe them on up there. So baby steps for sure. Got to pace myself so I don't get too excited, but I don't want to definitely leave this stuff on the table here. It's got to get listed or it won't sell. So thank you for watching, and I guess we'll hopefully watch for some of these things in the What Sold segments in the next coming videos. Thanks for watching. All right, so at this point, let's go ahead and do our full sales recap for the month of April. What we're actually going to be doing is looking at our top sales from our eBay store only for the month of April. Now, a lot of the stuff that you saw in the previous segments, some of the Boy Scout stuff, some of the Girl Scout stuff, some of the military stuff has already been selling, but it's probably not going to be featured in this particular video just because those sales are a little bit on the low side, and I have focused on the top selling sales from the month of April. So kicking off today's list is this. It's a new without tags Vera Bradley iconic bright crossbody purse in the Foxwood pattern. This sold for $39.99 plus shipping. Next up was this lot of 12 Choose Your Own Adventure paperback books. This had 6 modern and 6 vintage books in the lot, and together these sold for $34.99 plus shipping. Next up was a great sale from our Lego Mania haul. This was the Lego Mixels Series 1, featuring 9 complete individual sets, and together these sold for $124.99 plus shipping. The next sale was also a great Lego sale from the Lego Mania haul. This was the Lego Alien Conquest number 7066 Earth Defense HQ. It was 100% complete with minifigs and manuals, but no box, and it sold on a best offer of $156.39 plus shipping. This next item was just seen in our garage sale pickup segment. This was that set of Magic School Bus DVDs. It was the complete collection featuring 8 different DVDs, and this sold for $19.99 plus shipping. Up next, another item from our major Lego Mania score. This was a non-working item. This was a 1998 Playrail motorized Thomas & Friends duck engine. Again, this was not working, and it sold for $22.99 plus shipping. This next item was at the bottom of that vintage Star Wars toys haul, and this was the vintage 1978 Battlestar Galactica Cylon Raider spaceship. It was incomplete, but it did have the pilot, and this sold for a best offer of $55.19 plus shipping. Yeah, I didn't even realize that I had this item at first. In fact, I figured that all the items in that box were Star Wars related, and that one didn't really look familiar. So after a quick Google image search, found out that it was Battlestar Galactica, and it was very collectible. The next 2 items were actually purchased together by the same buyer. These were both Alien Conquest series sets, number 7065 Alien Mothership and 7051 Tripod Invader. Both of these sets were 100% complete with manuals, figures, and box. And together, they sold for $174.98 plus shipping. This next sale was another motorized Thomas train, and this one was actually motorized Henry with the tender car, and this one was actually in working condition, and he sold for $24.99 plus shipping. I think you're going to see a common theme with this sales recap. It's either going to be Legos or Thomas, and this sale is no different. So this one is another Thomas one. This one was the 2005 Thomas Motor Road and Rail. This was the light-up jet engine car, which was in working order, and this sold for $24.99 plus shipping. Next up, another Thomas sale, but this actually wasn't from Lego Mania. I actually found another bag of motorized Thomas cars at a recent garage sale. This was the 2006 motorized Stanley from Hit Toy Company. This was in working condition, and this one sold for $19.99 plus shipping. Up next was a set of women's jeans. These were the 7 for All Mankind brand, women's size 34 straight leg Flint model jeans, and these sold for $24.99 plus shipping. Next up was this H&M men's size XL Pink Panther hoodie, which sold for $19.99 plus shipping. Up next, we had another Vera Bradley bag sell. This was the Ribbons plaid pattern Glenna Satchel purse, and this one sold for $24.99 plus shipping. Up next, we had this vintage 925 sterling silver elegant etched design hollow egg pendant, which weighed 7.57 grams, and it sold for $29.99 plus shipping. These next 2 items were bought together by the same buyer from the Lego Mania haul, but not Lego. These were actually Batman. The first was the 2009 Batman Brave and the Bold Batman Cyber Tank with figures and missiles. And the other one was the 2009 Batman Brave and the Bold Bat Sub Blaster, again with figure and accessories. Together, these sold for $41.38 plus shipping. Up next, we had a flatware set sell. This was from International Silver. It was a 25-piece Lady Doris Princess set. Of course, it was vintage silver plate, and it sold for $24.99 plus shipping. Following that, we had this lot of 18 Janet Ivanovich paperback novels. These spanned 4 distinct series, and together they sold for $24.99 plus shipping. I think you just saw this item featured in one of the garage sale haul segments. This was that Reed and Barton 55-piece Andover Pearl 1810 stainless steel flatware set. This ended up selling for a whopping $124.99 plus shipping. Up next was another Vera Bradley bag. This time it was the Deco Daisy pattern, and this was the Laura tote bag, and it sold for $24.99 plus shipping. This next item sold in less than 30 minutes after I listed it. This was a 511 Tactical, men's size large, dark blue, Freedom Flex, lightweight, short sleeve, snap front shirt. And this sold for $24.99 plus shipping. This next item was featured in the jewelry cleaning segment from the last episode, and this was the James Avery 925 sterling silver thatched beaded dome ring, size 8. This ended up selling for $69.99 plus shipping. Next up, we had a pair of men's jeans. These were Kanji brand jeans. These were Y2K hip-hop thick stitch jeans, and these ended up selling for $29.99 plus shipping. The next item was a consignment sale from my daughter Deidre. These were a pair of Lululemon women's size 8 speed up mid-rise lined shorts. These ended up selling for $34.99 plus shipping. Can you guess where the final sale of this video came from? If you guessed the Lego Mania haul, you are right. This was actually the Lego Duplo, set number 3301, the Thomas & Friends cargo loading cranky set. It was complete with the manual, and it sold on a best offer of $27.59 plus shipping. So like I said before, guys, there was a lot of great sales in April. There were a lot of honorable mentions, some of which, like I said before, were the Boy Scout memorabilia. We sold a lot of patches. I did my first sort of foray into the eBay standard envelope shipping, which is really nice because you can actually sell these patches. Now, eBay standard envelope includes patches as a category that you can sell that in. So shipping is ultra cheap for the customer. So I had to order some specific envelopes for those, which met the size and weight requirements, but those have been flying out the door. And in addition to that, we actually sold a number of the military box stuff that you saw in one of the recent segments. If you have gotten any great information from this video at all, go ahead and click the like button for me. And if you wouldn't mind even possibly considering subscribing to the channel, it really does help us out. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end, and I will see you next time.